we'll put it there. That should be good. Right. So, as you may or may not be aware, there are 25 characters in Guilty Gear XX Accent Core Plus R. We have our Guilty Gear 1 characters, our X, our XX, etc. The one from Iska, the one from Slash, and so on and so forth. So there was a lot of transitions in art direction and game design from Guilty Gear X to XX. And perhaps the biggest sign of these weird transitory moments is the Dreamcast port, I think it is, of Guilty Gear X and the PS2 port are very different from each other. And there is an arcade release before Midnight Carnival XX called Guilty Gear X.5, which is really, really, really weird. It's mostly X mechanics, but there's no faultless defense cancelling. And, like, Kai has Greed Sever instead of Crescent Slash and a bunch of weird things like that, so it was clearly just some sort of hardware test as they were making XX. And the point is that there's this long legacy of just weird stuff from previous builds that's floated around in the data of Guilty Gear XX as a series. And in order, whether it was just as a coding test or a weird gimmick, the second version of XX, Sharp Reload, came with unlockable alternate versions of each character called EX characters. These characters are pretty bare bones in in Reload rather, and they're also pretty bare bones in Slash. Accent Core, having its big, comprehensive console version with Accent Core Plus, actually added a lot to the EX characters, and I would be happy to just ignore these things. They were never really made available because they aren't selectable in arcade. And I would be normally content to just leave it there, except Plus R actually made balance changes to the EX characters. And that's kinda neat. Guilty Gear Plus R has been dead in Australia for about 5 years. Like, the only non-tournament thing we've had involving this game since I last ran brackets for this game in 2013-2014 is money matches with myself and Hunter Steven. And the Australian community is very separate from the Japanese and American and European communities when it comes to XX, as basically the version of the series that had the most play in Australia was Accent Core. Melbourne and South Australia both played it quite a bit. But Plus R was mostly just myself, Nerk, Ramiel. Gary had run away from Plus R. There was this brief period where Perth was playing it, and then Perth was busy doing other things, which is fine. So Plus R never really got off the ground, and it's been several years since we've had any tournaments, so the people who did play Plus R are really rusty at Plus R, and no one else really has XX habits built into their muscle memory. So if you're going to learn XX, I thought this would be a fun time for people to actually experiment with learning a more broad version of XX. And we might as well enable these EX characters and go to town. I should differentiate something here for anyone unfamiliar that there are EX characters, but this game also has Shadow and Gold characters. So if I go to the slash color and hit dust and push buttons. Oh no, this is a versus exclusive situation. Alrighty, let's go to versus. Wait, no. I need versus CPU here because this is gonna happen. Wait, no, I found the spot. Back to character select. Alright, dust, buttons. Here we go. Okay, so it's not dust. Unless somehow I haven't actually unlocked these characters yet. Which is possible. Alright, I haven't unlocked them on the PC version, so that's the problem. Anyway, So there's unlockable shadow and gold characters in XX. And those are very, very stupid. The shadow characters is just your regular character, but with an edgy dark and red, black and red color scheme. And you have unlimited meter. Unlimited meter in Guilty Gear completely destroys the game. Not acceptable. There's also gold characters, which are this really gaudy, bright yellow color. And those are intentionally designed as boss characters. So for example, Gold Johnny, if he does... Let's just do a Mist Finder for anyone who doesn't know what a Mist Finder is. Heaven or Hell. Jewel 1, let's rock. So like these moves, if this were Gold Johnny, anytime one of those slashes would hit you, it would do 420 damage. It kills you in one hit. Yes. Guilty Gear is a game with blah. Oh yeah, so you need to unlock EX characters. To unlock the EX characters, you need to do stuff. The easiest way is to play through mission mode. It's just 30 missions. You beat all 30 missions, and you'll have access to the EX characters. In the Accent Core mission mode is extremely easy. Reloads was far more obnoxious. You had things like the timer scam against a poison boss, while you're Bridget level and stuff. None of that in the mission mode in Accent Core. Or you could just hunt around for a thing. The easiest way to know if you've got the EX characters unlocked is to see if you've got extra menu available in your menu. Yeah, we have Nor asking me on Discord, the EX characters were never explored or played as much as the normal ones? Yes. They were never really explored because they don't have parity with the arcade version. And that's it. They're a really interesting set of things, and I'm going to get into them. Though I guess I should clarify here while we're here as well, that there's also unlockable Guilty Gear 1 and Guilty Gear X modes. These are not worth exploring because we know exactly what they do. They make the gameplay like Guilty Gear 1 and Guilty Gear X, which is bad. Let's do Guilty Gear 1 things. What is the charge input? Is it S and H or is it T plus K? Okay, it's H plus D. Right, this shit. Oops. You also can't burst, and bursts are important in a game that is as momentum heavy as Guilty Gear. So yeah, Guilty Gear 1 mode, very, very stupid. Then, Guilty Gear X mode, just to demonstrate, is... Alright, I can't remember what the input is for FD braking, so I'm not going to bother with that stuff. Alright, Jarvy's making the point of Millia 5K launching as an EX character, but I'd just like to remind people that this button exists in current plus R. Like, this button exists. Hello. Look at this button. Look at this. Launching anti-air 5K. Guilty Gear is a very dumb game. And has always been very, very stupid. Other thing to remind people, that this move exists in Accent Core Plus R. And... okay, let's back away like this. And let's do... okay. I don't like using the PC version. I always find it has really inconsistent frame rates for some reason, but anyway. Wow, I am very out of practice at this. There we are. Like, this shit exists in Plus R? And for reference, the Japanese community, obviously Plus R was mostly killed by Xr's release, but even at that point, it was becoming very, very clear that Testament was ruining the experience. For a lot of people, anyway. The current day Plus R top tier is Testament. Then, I think, Zappa. Then, like, Faust and Dizzy and Chipp. Like, Testament is so miserable to play against. Even though he's nowhere near as stupid as Accent Core Testament, he is very stupid in a different way. He's a character who's built around controlling the neutral, and he can continue to do so. Right, so let's stop pussyfooting around. Let's actually talk about what the EX characters do. These are equal parts reusing the art assets that have been abandoned over time. There's weird testing grounds for mechanical concepts floating around in them, and some of them are borderline game design jokes. So let's just go through the Shotos first. Shoto. Boom, boom, boom. Actually, no. Let's not do that. Soul versus normal Soul. That seems like the way we should be doing this. Demonstrate Soul versus things. So, the joke with Soul and Kai is that they're Soul and Kai. What I mean by that is Gun Flame. Look at that. S stun edge, H stun edge. But they still maintain a lot of their flavors. So for example, Soul still has a Wild Throw. Here's Grand Viper. That they've reverted that to being Accent Core Grand Viper. And I think it's Shoryu D. Yeah, Shoryu D is the old Grand Viper, which for Xrd players will just be the Xrd Grand Viper. Yep, it's Xrd Grand Viper. Other notable differences, let's see, yes. So he's Kai, so he has S stun edges as well. There you can see that the edges are a bit wonky. And yeah, the FRC timing is actually pretty similar to Kai's as well. Yeah, Accent Core Grand Viper is very cool. Let's see if I can get that clean hit. Nope, I am bad at games. So like Kai, he's got Stun Dipper, and he's got Greed Sever. Greed Sever with ground splats. So you have to yeah, I'll get to Millia in a while, Jarvie, but I just wanna... Okay, so at the very least there. The other notable thing is Soul Jump D always wall bounces like Baiken's. So he has very wacky dust loops. This is all important because he has a lot more trouble actually getting knockdowns than Thing. He's still got Volcanic Viper, but much like Kai, rather than the old knockdown kick, see I'm mashing quarterback kick there, nothing happens. He has thingy called Air Fafnir. What's it called? Sidewinder. He has Sidewinder as his follow-up to Thing instead. Which means that he does have a fair amount of trouble getting meterless knockdowns. The other notable thing is, let's see, I think... Yeah, 6p staggers rather than wall bouncing. So you can get that, which is cool. Or you can go... Oh, first clean hit's always easy with Soul. It's the subsequent ones which is hard. And the final things... Okay, so... We have Ride the Lightning as a super. He does have a punch super with that. Yep. Whoa, check out that. And we have... Yeah. We have the Order Soul Fireball super. I think at the very least you get DP off that. Let's check. Yeah, you get sweep off that, so you can do stuff. That's pretty much Order Soul. Oh yeah, and the most important thing, let's just check if I haven't forgotten anything. Fafnir, I think, is the opposite direct input to how it is in this. Don't ask me for frame data on this stuff, because I've never tested it. And I just need to check. Yeah, so Fafnir is only a force break, and it's the opposite input to how it otherwise is. Yeah, it's that. There we are, look at that. It's old Fafnir, wall bounces. And you can still do your accent core super stuff off it, which also wall bounces. And that's about it, except for this move. Force Break Gunflame. Shoots out 4 or 5 times. If we put this on guard, put the guard on. Let's get him nice and centralized like that. Force Break Gunflame. See there? There is quite good guard bar on this and all the hits launch. So strings into this is very, very scary. However, if you aren't spacing it right, like basically, there's enough startup that if you aren't... Let's get this timing right. Yeah, if you aren't FRCing it and pushing 5 each, then it's not airtight. You can actually just FD jump out of block strings into Gunflame. So you've got to use that as a meaty if you want to have that gross pressure extension. That's Soul. Next up is Kai. Here's the first thing that's most obvious about Kai. 5H is Guilty Gear X 5H, which reaches to about there. From memory, it reaches a little bit further than modern day Kai 5H. And so I think you get like... Oh, wait, no, Fast Slash doesn't go to H. So you still have to do this stuff. The other change to his normals is 6K, ground splats. And, of course, 2H is... Yeah, I mean, this is a very early Guilty Gear animation right there. And that's from memory parody with Guilty Gear 1 as well. Anyway, he has slash 2H, which would be, oh my god, broken button, except he's had that for the entirety of Xerd's life, so... Arc System Works pretty content with just... Kai 2H should always be the slash 2H. So, he's Soul. This doesn't change his stunnages. They are all still the same. And they're very cool. If I am cool enough, I will actually do the thing. Nope. I am bad at games, so I'm not doing the thing. And yeah, 6H is the old 6H. Which they gave back to him in Plus R anyway. Jarvie, stop spoiling things. I'm going to get there. And you can see here that his normal throw still has the FRC point, but I might as well demonstrate that DP works like Volcanic Viper, so 2 hits, and has the quarterback kick knockdown follow-up, which is neat. You can still low profile it, just like regular Vapor Thrust though, so he's not exactly a one-to-one of Soul. Like Soul, he also has Riot Stomp, which is just Crescent Slash, which is useful. We have Bandit Revolver, and we have Bandit Bringer, which does Bandit Bringery things, except with an equally silly hitbox, because there's a Greed Sever. Very cool. And yeah, Crescent Slash, this was his Greed Sever in Guilty Gear X. It's notable because he's got Wild Throats on Shoyu Punch rather than Kick. And that combos into Crescent Slash. Does it end here? Probably. I mean, it's flipping upwards and hitting up there. State, jump. Of course, I'm not here to give walk... I guess I did write walkthroughs, but I'm not here to... I'm here to demonstrate what stuff is, so you have some idea of what to be looking for and working out. There we are. There's your basic right stomp follow-up. We have... is it here? Oh yeah! And we have Grand Viper, which crosses up and has... Alright. Let's see if I can get this one. There we are. So he's got Grand Viper, but it has an FRC point just as it crosses up, which you can then do shit with. Which is very cool. Hey, look at that. So yeah, you can do fake cross up stuff without basing your spacing, which is very cool. Anything else I need to mention about Ky before I get to his force breaks? And for force breaks, we have this, same as Accent Core, but it uses the Accent Core version, so in the corner. Which way is it? I just thought it was back forward. There we are. Yeah, that just knocks down, not the wall splat that it does in +R. So not as good as +Rs. And likewise, Force Break Star is there, being Force Break Star. Nothing really notable about his air normals. They're Ky buttons. They do Ky things, like space and do that. Space and do that. But, down, down, down. D, Lightning Strike is actually a force break. So you don't have, it's not just a knockdown follow-up thing that you use for high guts kills in this conversion. It is actually a projectile you can use to be a dick with. I mean, you can't swiggity swoogity, I win neutral or whatever that silly wizard spell joke is for YRC stunnage. Instead you use this. It is 222, not 22. So you've got to be a bit more on point with using that than you would some other down button fireballs. That's Ky. Alright. Tyrant Rave, and... where is it? There we are. Secret Edge is a slow-moving follow-up from behind fireball like that. So you can FRC that, if you're not bad like me, and get in with that. So there we are, Soul and Ky. Order Soul is another Shoto. This Order Soul's gimmick is... yeah, of course this game's inferior to Arcana Heart, it's always gonna be. Order Soul is a shit sprite, because it's not Order Soul at all. It is actually derived from the animations that were used from the first build of Order Soul from memory, I think. I think it was like the first beta test of Order Soul used some of these art assets at the start of Slash's testing life. But anyway, he's Guilty Gear 1 Soul. So the Gunflame is back, the other Gunflame is back, Riot Stomp is Riot Stomp, Bandit Revolver is Bandit Revolver. Guilty Gear 1 Bandit Bringer didn't exist, so that's not there. Now Air Fireballs, like Soul, he's still got Order Soul jump height. So it's like if you wanted Soul but he's got KOF hot pressure, here you go. That's what we got. Very, very cool. For Force Breaks, he's still got Fafnir for when you just want a dickhead standing low like that. He has Force Break Gunflame, which launches. So you can do stuff like that. Depending on the weight class, you can do Sweep Gunflame and then do your TRs, because of course he has... alright, that's the other main thing to note. So there's no Wild Throw because it's Guilty Gear 1, but he's got Guilty Gear 1 Dash P and Dash K. So Dash P, which is if you start running and then hold down P like that, you get this move. This move is upper body invul. And so it's a very good just run in and do stuff. You have to see it to get stuff on it. I can't remember if you get anything off counter hit. Counter hit is... there we are. So on very light characters like Johnny and Faust, you might be able to get something on counter hit, but otherwise you've got a bloop. Essentially, you've got a safer version of run up DPRC. Running kick is essentially run up Riot Stomp. You run up and you get a kick, and the kick wall bounces near the corner. Very good on counter hit. And finally, since this is Old Soul, he doesn't have the knockdown follow-up to DP, but you can see that there is this blue flash happening in my input display. He's got an FRC on his DP. So that's nice. That is a really, really nice thing to have. Oh, and most importantly, he's got Force Break DP, which also has the FRC point. For supers, he's just got Tyrant Rave, which wall bounces. From memory, you don't get anything off it unless you're doing like 6B in the corner, or possibly Jump Dust. Alright, that might be weight and height specific. There we are. That's how you do stuff with, get stuff off that if you want to use it for like burst safe combos or whatever in the corner. Anything else I need to say about this guy? So, you know, if you're looking for a different brand of soul to soul it up with, alright, no Grand Viper, but he does have Rocket. And Rocket is really nice. Anyone who's ever played Auto Soul will attest to that. So, that's your 3 Shotos. 4th Shoto, Robo-Ky. The first change should be quite obvious if you look down at the bars. You can see that he has 100 tension, not a bunch of bricks. Which means that his meter, if I switch meter to normal, it builds like a human. He is a real boy now. Look at that. Isn't that exciting? He has DP. So this means no more EX move, or move properties that change based on how much meter he has. And you know, he's kinda like a Ky analog now. As you can see here, his fireballs can be followed up from behind much more easily than Ky's can. He's got normal chains. That's his Stun Dipper. You can see he's got Horse, he's got DP. He's got just the one air fireball now, which is just the single homing rocket. So that's like the 30% meter one. He can still place down mats if he wants to, which is cool. He's still got the command grab, and it still drains meter, so he's more of a dick. Oh yeah, he's got Greed Sever. How could I forget this? Now, let's see if I can get this FRC point. This move is good, but it builds a lot of heat. And the way that you vent heat is... Which one of these is it? It is a move, I do remember that. Is it halfback S? Yeah. Yes, it's halfback S. So we're building up our heat, and then, psh, there we are. 2H is this. So it is a Ky 2H analog, rather than his Rocket. Rocket is... And now, yeah. Gun is still gun, so that still builds up a lot of heat. So yeah, it's essentially, if you want to play Ky, but also he's got heat gauge bonus. And while he's not quite as good as low profiling, he's still cool. Then yeah, you can give this guy a check it out. Double forward P. What's this? Ah, yes! There's the rockets, if you're wondering where they are. Now, I can't remember if they come down or not. Yeah, the rockets come down. So, if you want some hidden missiles, we got some hidden missiles for you. Double back S is your usual Robo-Ky explosion. He has Ride the Lightning, which is his super input. And he can do it in the air because he's Ky. Hi there, Tomo. You've just missed the Shotos. I'm going through by, like, character archetype. Sweep is just his old 2S. 2S is this. So you want to do your Guilty Gear Shoto pressure of Fire S 2S. You can do that. Let's see. You might only get EX moves off doing this string at range. Yeah. So, like, that'll work. Or quarter forward rocket is like force break rocket. This is a 25-meter move, but it's a projectile that wall splats. That's pretty nice. Like, I'm pretty sure I've put this in a combo video at some point. That damage is okay. Yeah, I'm gonna just be uploading this archive to my YouTube, Tomo, so that way I never have to worry about this again. We're returning to the pivot to video games, the pivot from podcasting. I'm actually very slowly working on some other things that will eventually quite drastically change the sort of content that's on my channel, but it's taking time. Oh yeah, jump H is now S so that way S and H now behave like Ky, S and H. So if you're looking for a slightly different Ky experience, this guy exists. Oh, and quarterback D is the most important move in the game. Look at the damage that it does to Robo. Let me just check the stun build on that. Yeah, not that good. It is just a joke move. Right, Shoto, 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 Shoto. Shoto. Do you like more Shotos? Not to worry, Jam is in this game. Alright, what's changed about Jam? She's a Wrecker character. But, okay, where's... Alright. Show you, D is an EX DP, so she's got card DP as an actual Force Break now. Force Break Puffball is Force Break Puffball. It's Accent Core. Alright, people know what's coming, so let's just get it out of the way. She has, much like Robo-Ky, she has a Wall Splat Fireball. You don't get anything off this without spending meter from memory. Let's check. Yeah, so if you use this as like part of a frame trap up close, then you can get stuff, I think. Let's go there. No. Yeah, if you want to play EX Jam, you're going to want to learn Fireball FRC. That gives her a lot of versatility. Quarter forward S and quarter forward H are also very silly puffballs. She can also fake out a puffball with an FRC and then throw. This is worth noting because she has... There we are. Back DPP. Oh, wait. No, that's not what I was after. That is. Quarter forward P. Shoryu P. Is a command throw. Which uses part of the animation of her joke super. From memory, you get stuff off this in the corner. Yeah, depending on character weight, you can get stuff off that in the corner. She also has this move, which is a whack-ass cross-up move that staggers. She's also got a fair amount of alteration to normals. These are all fairly normal buttons, but... this is all Jam stuff, but 6K is now a special cancelable overhead. Oh, it's H cancelable as well. But otherwise, you can just do this. First Wrecker also links back into 5K. 2H is now her old slide into K follow-up, which is quite a nice button. And that Gatling's into sweep as well. Alright. So that's all cool stuff. Jam, EX Jam is a very, very easy character to learn. Because you can just do like this shit all day. And people have actually got to think a bit on how to deal with her. Her supers are a bit different. Puffball is a single hit that wall bounces, much like the Autosol one I did. What else does she have? She's got... Yeah, this super, I mean, in practicality, it's very similar to how you would be using it as a really fast disrespect option with regular Jam. But the hits are different and much more useful because you can actually do follow-ups from it. 6H is also different. It's her Punch Super. Punch Super also exists as well. Yes. And it does the same thing that the normal one does. Positive proration, starter that launches. Anything else I need to mention? Yeah, just the Air Super, I think. Yep. Her dive kick is gone, unless you do it as a super. Which means that you can cancel it into stuff. Like, I think I've done combo vids before. Where it's just build around. Like this stuff. So there's a lot of ways to muck around there. Also, Jump D is now Gekidin. And it has all the same properties of the original Gekidin. So you can do that stuff with it if you instant air dash. Which is cool. So yeah, that's Jam. Jam is a very easy to pick up character who's got lots of stuff, but when you get familiar with it, it's like, if you know how to push Virus, then 2S, Jam's gonna have a lot of problems with that unless she actually starts parrying and stuff. So yeah, it's a character that exists. Who is next? Is that every Shoto that's in the game? Let me just check here. If there are any other secret Shotos. Oh yes, of course. One more Shoto. Venom. So Venom, quarter forward S. Look at this. I'm just hitting quarter forward, and he's throwing out these. Chipp is different. I actually think that regular Chipp's better than EX Chipp at this point. So you've got fireballs. You have the input to do carcass raids, but you can't charge them. So you don't get all the really nasty Venom stuff. Dubious Curve is still Dubious Curve. Boom. If you FRC it, that means you're better than me. There we are. Dubious Curve does Dubious Curve things. I like having lightning balls on the screen. His sets are the old set patterns. His buttons are all the pre-accent core buttons, so you know he's got this 6p, which is notable until they went and gave him back that 6p in accent core plus R anyway. But 6H still behaves like accent core. So he's got the ground bounce back. What else is there I need to mention? What's teleport? Is this teleport? Yeah. Teleport is quarter forward P. It behaves like teleport. He doesn't have mad struggle, but he does have air stunnage, which is very cool. The supers, he's got this, but this should be familiar to you if you've played Plus R anyway, because Arisaka went and gave that to him. Other supers to mention. Yeah, Red Hail is here. Is that with S? Did I misread that? Yeah. Hey, look at that. It's Red Hail. You can do it on the ground now. And you got two versions based on the button you use. And Dark Angel. Dark Angel does Dark Angel. We all know there's this big ball on the ground. But if you use H instead, that happens. So he has an anti-S super. And that actually does have potential for like Guard Crush type situations. Yeah, if you can find ways to, say, make someone air tech into this, and then they've got to either take the hit and then you jump up and do buttons. I need to talk about that move as well. Quarter forward K is a DP. Because he's a Shoto now. And he can do it in the air. It doesn't knock down, which is probably to his advantage. Because you can probably, like, find ways to do dumb gimmicks. I have to go now. My planet needs me. Other thing to mention, 22H. He goes and gets balls. See those balls above his tension gauge? This is how you charge him up now. He stocks up his charges with 22H. No special moves will big that up. For force breaks, he's just got, you know, the same force breaks that he has, but he still needs the charge ups in order to make them the super grimy stuff. This is the only mad struggle he has, is the force break one. You know, everyone's favorite plus 30 instant overhead. Whatever nonsense it is. That's really good. And most importantly, double quarter forward dust. The greatest of force breaks in the game. 2, 3. He has Shoyu Rapper. Because he's a Shoto now. I think that's it, so yeah. You gain stuff, you lose stuff. There's probably some real wacky gimmicks you can come up with this guy. Check him out. If you don't like working your charges into your game. So that's all the Shotos. I guess I should go to Chipp now, since Chipp is a Shoto normally. So here's the thing with Chipp. Everything that Chipp does is now a weird follow-up. Like, it's all this. Alpha Blade cancels into other moves, or if you really want, you can cancel into the Force Break Leap, which is now actually kind of useful. So yeah, all of his special moves cancel into stuff. I like so. But I think he loses teleports as a result of this. Oh, no, he still has his teleports. And he has Shuriken tied to the taunt button, like it used to be. I think... Yeah, it still alternates. Too late. Okay, forget everything I said about Chipp not being that impressive in EX form. He's got his plus R moveset, so he's gonna be a dick. But key thing is, most of his special moves cancel into each other. Don't you? And the Wreckers now are just moves that you can do on their own. Quarterback K is still Find Me. He can't double Find Me, so it's just regular Find Me, which isn't as good as double Find Me in plus R. Drill Kick is still there. It's still Drill Kick. That super still does that thing. Fujiyama Geisha is still Fujiyama Geisha. Oh wait, no, that's what I forgot. Alright, so this is where the Shuriken super originates from. He of course has it in plus R, but yeah. This is Fujiyama Geisha is actually a grab. So yeah, that's Chipp. If you wanted to, I'm sure you could find all sorts of nonsense with this guy. Though, actually, I think he lacks the wall cling. Let me just double check that. Yeah, he doesn't have the wall jump. So that is one less thing that he has than the other people do. Let's keep going through relatively simple ones. Baiken. Baiken's gimmick is that you can just do all of her guard cancels raw. From memory, do I have a record button? No, I have a switch button instead. Let's fix that up. Record enemy. Play memory. Yeah. So the situation here is quite simple. What if Baiken didn't have guard cancels, but instead they were just moves that she has? Also, her tatamis work the way that they used to, where they're this launch move you need to FRC. Yes, you can do the button seal 1 raw. So if you want to do... Whoops. So yeah, you can do that stuff. Though, but you gotta watch out for stuff. So it's like, do you like Baiken buttons by themselves? You can give this character a shot. Other things to note. She obviously needs better space control now that she's not the I'm winning when I'm blocking character. So if you do double quarter forward K, then lots of tatamis appear. I mean, yours Unsen is the Guilty Gear X animation. Which means that you can do the Guilty Gear X thing. And you can make it rain. Look at all those pedals. Yeah, Force Break Tatami stems from this character. That is about it, and then we have this, and we have that. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, same as always. But she also has a grab super. So she's got more offense. Also worth noting that Jump D is the old Jump D. So if I stop being bad, like, yeah, you get that stuff. So you get a lot of hits done, always wall bounces. You can FRC them to get lots more dusts in order to get big damage. Old man Baiken combos. No, I'm still terrible at Tatami FRC after all these years. So that's Baiken. That one's a relatively simple one. You can see where there might be some reasons to play it, but you're probably better off sticking to the original and making use of guard cancels. Guess we go Anji next. So we would finished up that mirror at least. Alright, Anji. Let me check Anji things. Like, Anji buttons are still fairly Anji buttons. Fireball works the way that it used to back in the dark days when it sucked. Fujin is Fujin. Yeah, Fujin is just Fujin still. However, instead of just having, if you're guard pointing your way through stuff with his command normals, you can push P to do this move, but you can also just do this move raw now with Shoryu P. So he has an actual DP. Shoryu K, yeah, he's got this move, which wall splats, which is honestly pretty scary when you think about it. However, you need to really watch the guard bar depletion from memory on that move. It's probably got guard bar as well. On is on. Blah, it's on. So you're sacrificing a way worse butterfly in order to have potentially much scarier damage. Quarterback P, quarterback K. Yeah, those are those moves, same as always. Blah. I think he's got a dive kick though. Yeah, he's got this move. So he has much easier time getting knockdowns with that from memory. And I think you just get an empty fast fall if I see this correctly. But I'm bad, so I'm not going to do that. He also gets EXTP, raw just like regular Anji. I think it's worth noting that it's easy to forget that Anji is in this game and that Anji is the Leo of this game, of XX. I don't think people ever recommend Anji as a beginner character quite enough in Guilty Gear. He just does whatever he wants and often gets away with it. Other changes. The fan has... Oh yeah, he has Super Fujin. So you do different follow-ups to Super Fujin, and then you get stuff. It's very cool. Yeah, look at that. Invincible Fujin. I mean, this really encapsulates the essence of Anji players. Just do Fujin. Guess I'll make a Fujin that's invincible. And then he has Super Drop. Blah. That's about it for Anji. Yep. Beyond FB Fireball, which is the same as normal. So, worse Oki, but a bunch of other good tools. Let's do Johnny in May next. Johnny. So Johnny's thing. No Force Break on. No Heavenly Anji Buster. So Johnny, you can see here that once upon a time, Johnny had a standing low. See here, Guilty Gear X is where this 2H originates from, which is a 3H and a lot of accent core. 6H is the same, 5H is the same. You know, it's the old honest Johnny. Glitter is gold is still glitter is gold. However, you can see here that I'm in Mist Stance, but there's no Mist Finer happening. And that is because it is a counter stance, and the button you push determines what stance you're going to be in. To compensate for him no longer having his extremely important, so, as you might have noticed that, Miss Stance is still there, but yeah, it's a counter move. Also, he can run. Now that he's no longer Mr. Sword Footsies, he's now Mr. Sword Footsies and also has this extremely good Dengeki Fighting Climax run animation. And to compensate for this, he has a DP. There we are. It's even got a quarterback kick knockdown follow-up. So, do you like Divine Bleed? Also, I love this DP. It's his 6K animation, but it moves upwards. I need to go back to my home planet. Sadly, it's not FRCable, so you can't like do this. And then be all sorry. Yeah, you don't even get air actions after that. What else? That's the main thing, I think. Yeah, you can still do Jackhound though. Is this a string? Yes, this is a string. Hi there, Sweep. Oh, they're smooth like ice. Yeah, Jackhound input is not swap. So yeah, he can still do that stuff. Ensenga is still Ensenga. Far-reaching instant overhead. Is that it? DPS. Ah, yeah. Yeah. So he's still got this. I am good today. Yeah. Joke FRC still restores air action, so Joke FRC is still there being that stuff. I think. Oh no, that's just... Yeah, so if you do this as if you do quarterback H as your counter, you get Jackhound as the move. Like so. Anything else of note besides Air Super? No, that's just a super follow-up to Jackhound. Yep. So... Yeah, I mean, that's an accent core. Johnny Super is a bit different from memory. No. No, I'm thinking of Boss Johnny. And this move will look familiar to people who have played +R. And yeah, that is Johnny-O's favorite move. EX May. Just excuse me for a tick, I need some water. Wow. Water. Alright. May. So, here is May. You might recall May as being the floaty girl with all the charge moves. Not anymore. We're Order Soul now, matey. She's still got this. Her buttons are pretty much the same from memory. This is, of course, double X, so 5k is throw involved. Is overhead kiss here? Yes. Overhead kiss is here, but you see it wall splats now. But not to worry, because we can pick that up with a backwards hitting. Yeah, so... May is a KOF character now. She just hops like nobody's business, while still having May normals. But her moveset is evocative of Guilty Gear 1. So, Restive Rolling is a ground move. She has this move, which I think, yeah, you hold it down, you can move left and right and go, woo, I'm spinning. Quarterback S is the leaping one, yes. We have this super. Okay, there's Jackhound, so I think we do like DP super. Something like that, I recall doing once. You can still Great Yamada attack from the front, but why would you do that when you can Great Yamada attack from behind? I think she's still got hoops. I mean, this is still that, this is still that. We've done the restive rollings. Sorry, the aqua rollings. They all have the same FRC point as restive rolling does, which I am bad at. Aqua rolling, yeah. Half forward P. Yeah, there's a pause for the victim. And you can do back hitting. Aha! Yes, that's right. And half back P makes you jump through the hoop based on where it was. Or you do, yeah. There's you either make the teleport come out, either teleport with it, or just make the dolphins rip. It's very cool. And of course, this is old school restive rolling. I mean, a pause for the victim. So you don't need to hold down buttons. They just got to do that, and then you let them go when you want. And there's a little level indicator in the bottom corner. She still has slide. She doesn't have the Faust 3K Gatling that she has in +R. She also has Mistfinder. I'm gonna reload it because I got the wrong voice pack for her. Pick the cool cap. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. This sticks. Select button gets stuck. Okay, did we get the right voice pack this time? No. Give me the good voice, please. This is very important. Maybe it's only reload. There's definitely an iteration where when she's doing Mistfinder, she does a Johnny impersonation that's very good. But anyway, it's Mistfinder. She's only got the horizontal one. It's with quarter forward K, but you can miscancel with it. So you get that shit. I think you do like aqua rolling or something off that. That's all very cool. So like, she's a KOF character. Get in your face, have the most obnoxious normals on the planet. Hop distance like nobody's business. Get frame advantage. It's auto-solve but with May buttons. And if you really actually want to play some neutral, you've got a wall splatting fireball, though it's a bit on the slow side. So it's far more of a whiff punish tool or a combo tool. That's all very cool. Is there anything else I'm forgetting with her? I think she has Jackhound? Yeah, Jackhound's on 2-2 now. Yep. There you go. So yeah, you can be a dick with her. Like, this character is kind of unique as far as what's available in Guilty Gear, and she's very cool. Go find stuff with her. That's these four done. Do I go to the assassins? Or do I go to the corners? See, we've done Jam, but we haven't done Bridget, and we haven't done Zappa, and we haven't done Eno and Faust. So I'm gonna work my way around. There's certain characters I'm avoiding until the end. So, yeah. Bridget. Where is the Suiseiski color? That was Christmas Bridget. Alright, it's Bridget. The thing does the thing. You know, that stuff's all the same. First thing that's really notable as a change is in the air, he has aerial starship. Woohoo! This knocks down when close to the ground. That is very height specific. So it's far more of a push them towards the corner tool than a Bridget suddenly has guaranteed air knockdowns from any height tool. Which is good because Bridget with guaranteed knockdowns from air combos is terrifying. Especially since Drop Bear is still here. So the new moves are still very much the same as they ever were. The key thing is, if we look at Roger Rush, and we look at what is the quarterback one called? Jagged Roger. They're the vanilla and reload versions of Jagged Roger and Roger Rush, which are sorely underrated neutral tools. So not only can you run around like Roo style, but you can then also back up your landing with that stuff. And also try and catch them off guard with that when they try to spot you. However, he does not have his DP. Which is really significant because if you know anything about Bridget, Bridget's DP is arguably the best DP in the game. Instead, he has follow-ups to kickstart my hut, like Chipp did. So, P follow-up is same as always. K follow-up, look at Starship. But, S follow-up is where the DP now is. So he can't do wake-up DP, but he can do neutral or frame trap DP. If you don't know why, by the way, part of why Bridget DP is so good is beyond it hitting on both sides, is because it's the only DP regularly that has an FRC point. Right, I think Robo's does as well. I'll put a pin on that. Remind me to bring up my funny Robo-Ky trivia at some point. The other great thing is that Kickstart My Hut also comes with a yo-yo placement. And that means he has a killer instinct approach tool. I've got this rush punch that's safe, yo. If not advantageous in a lot of situations. But if it's out, he can't call it back, and he can't cancel it into Roger moves. Force Break Roger Rush is not the wall splat. I think Force Break Jagged Roger is really good from memory. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it goes at a weird angle, is the problem. And he has... Alright, let's put that yo-yo up here. That's a bit high for what I was wanting to demonstrate. It hits a bunch more times than I think it always does the shenanigans. Let's put him on... Let's do the guard test. Nah. Yeah, you can't do unblocks with that one. Which is just as well. That is actually about it from memory. So it's essentially you've got better runaround game, but you don't have the DP. And that is an extremely important part of Bridget's game. Yeah, like, these are just... I think this one's a grab super now? Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a completely new move. He has a grab super. So you've got... this character is probably better than normal Bridget, but you don't have the DP. So there's give and take there. Next is... Let's do Zappa. Zappa. When you summon centipedes is terrible. Like, yeah, when you do centipedes, sometimes there's a chance that you don't actually get a summon. But the most notable thing is that it's the old dog. So EX Zappa has the old dog, where for anyone who knows like 2011 era Accent Core, Mitsurugi basically ruined everyone's year by putting them in a corner and having the dog bite them. So that's scary. You can also do, is it quarterback? Quarterback P, oh no, it's down. And if you've, I believe it's if you've summoned it previously that round, you're then allowed to switch up. No, basically you can push down, there's a chance, down and buttons, and there's a chance that you'll actually switch your character. That's an arm that doesn't work, and then you do that shit. So you can gamble with that. You can also unsummon for no meter with quarter forward P, which isn't very good on block, so it's very much a neutral tool. The actual movesets is all pre+R properties. So dog bite, the sword stays near you, the ghosts do their fireball. No aerial lead guy. And the fireball is the fireball. The other thing to note is just the force breaks. So he's got that move with that guy. When you've got dog, you get automated dog moves. And I think that bite's not unblockable, but I'm going to check just to be safe. All the hits in the sequence have to connect for this to work. Otherwise otherwise the dog just goes, nah, you suck. Yeah. So that's not an unblockable setup, that move. Thankfully. Okay, you can go away now. Alright. And I believe that, yeah, this one just makes a bunch of the curse items just come out at once. Which is neat. That's pretty much it. It's worth noting that although he has like that greater control over his potential for summoning, that he's only building one soul each time he hits with centipedes. If you know anything about pre+R Zappa, in Accent Core he builds like 3 souls every time that move hits. So a very classic thing to do with him was to, let's just get rid of that the old way, was to Roman cancel centipede summon twice, and then you'd be basically at Rao. Also, 2H builds the +R stun level. So it's not 2 2H's is a guaranteed stun. The other thing is, about the centipede summon, is it's pre-Accent Core as well. Oops, let's not drop this. I'm good today. So OTG Centipede is pretty bad. In +R, if you don't actually know anything about this guy, you actually get a combo off of the OTG summon. So you get Sweep, which is part of what makes him so nasty, is that any basic combo into Sweep from the start of the round actually builds him quite a fair amount of orbs. So, like, there's some actual decision-making you can make there if you know Zappa stuff, though. +R Zappa's probably easier to learn. Faust! Faust. First things first. You like Xrd? Now you know where Faust having a really dumb fire has come from. This is his X animation. The properties are identical to using Fast Slash in any other situation. It big. Can you low profile it? Yes. Yeah, so it's not even X at fast slash. It's just higher as an anti-air. And looks scary. You have no reverse beats with Faust. In Double X, from reload onwards, he had things like reverse beating 2H into 5P. None of that's here. In Accent Core, of course, he has stuff like sweep into 5K and 2S, which is very scary stuff. So, no, you've actually just got to make heavy use of your item toss, which is big news. Pogo Stick has all your original moves for Pogo Stick. The flower, the going my way, which has the same FRC point as always, and it bounces. So, you know, it's Pogo. I don't think... Yeah, you can do the item toss, okay. Scalpel Pull doesn't have the follow-ups it used to. Instead, I think you have to actually do Bomb. Let me check here. 44D. Yeah, you have to do that follow-up, because otherwise all you get is this. So you can actually get combos off it, but you're not gonna do the launchy stuff. Instead, the launchy stuff is tied to... Where is it? Quarterback H? No. There we are. So the launch part is quarter forward H. Which from memory was a command throw. Yeah. So yeah, quarter forward H is a true command throw for Faust, which launches... Hey look, it's Faust. He does the Faust combo. And then probably throws his head. Yep. There you go. Faust. Instead of having going my way as its own move though, you get... Which means you can Tiger Knee that to do that. If you're bad at execution and don't want to actually have to go through this. It's also... Yeah, Drill is also... Leo dive kick. So if you position yourself perfectly, so like that FD break I did before, then it's a lot easier to hit confirm off of. But if you are at any other spacing, you tend to get pushed away. Like so. Because it multi-hits and thus you get the push out from that. Is there anything else that I need to mention from here? I mean, that is that move as always. Yeah, those moves are all those moves. Then we just have a change to his reversal super. No change to item toss from memory. We have EX Scalpel. I think there's some different follow-ups to that. Nope. So it's just, hey, look, we got a fast Scalpel. And then we have... Reversal Super is a more conventional Reversal Super. So essentially, you're giving up the sheer potential of Force Break Dive Kick for doing bullshit, like FD Drill and 2 Kick. You're giving up his reverse beats, which is huge. You're giving up a lot of knockdown potential. I can't remember if his items actually... Oh, no, he's got the +R items, so never mind that point. And... yeah, this move. He's still got this Force Break like Accent Core. But you've got slightly easier execution with some other things. You've got a true command grab. So, I mean... slightly different flavors of being a dickhead with Faust. Here's the name of the game here. Do I do Eno? Yeah, Okay, I'm getting close to the real problematic characters. So, yeah, Ino's weird. Here's the first thing that Ino has. She too went to the Dengeki Fighting Climax School of Run Cycles. Where is it? Is it back DPK? Is it half back K? I've forgotten where it is. There we are. So Ino Dash. Traditional Ino Dash is now back short UK. She has every dive, yeah. And I think they're all modern dives. No, they're old dives. So you don't get your old bouncy loopy stuff. But, you know, they do that. She has... Whoop. Look at how freaking slow Note is for just, like, manipulating around. You can also actually move it around with the stick. So we've got our prototype for Kumheun Fireball here. Look at that. I'm Kum. Very cool. Low profiling. Let's mash S. Alright. There's your answer to that, Tomo. Okay, yeah, I like low profiling. Yeah, this is when we're starting to get to the potentially really problematic characters, though. It's really those couple of gimmicks. Chemical Love is Chemical Love. They do, I can't do Dash and Chemical Love. STBT is still STBT from memory. Yep. And they're all the pre-accent core ones. There's no jump cancels or anything with them. That stuff is still there. Anything else? Blah, 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 blah. No, those are all the same. So then we get to the force breaks. Let's get this back in here. Basically, there's this follow-up, which I think is a knockdown hit or something. But I'm really just... Yeah, I'm really just avoiding this section for the moment. I mean, this super is this super, air super is air super. Alright, let's get into it. It's here. Yep. Megalomania exists. Now, from memory, I'm going to have to test this. From memory, there are actually limitations on when you can do Megalomania. I probably should have just put it on, like, meter. Because from memory... Yeah. Okay, we're seeing it here. So, Megalomania. If you've played Arcade Ever, or you read that extremely old Sprite comic, you know how to deal with Megalomania. The way that you can do it is you can import one of them, and then you can switch to a different one. However, you can only do it once per round. Doesn't matter how much meter you have, you can do it once per round. So it's not if you hit her, It's if you get caught by any of the balls. So what you actually do is you run up, you wait a bit to see if she's done the pattern switch, and if she hasn't, you do several hits depending on the pattern to build up a bunch of meter, and then you just blow her the fuck up afterwards because she can't keep doing it like the boss version can. So yeah, once per round you can do Megalomania, and if it hit, great, you hit them with Megalomania. If not, what? Well, you just wasted like 10 seconds. Which is itself a potential time escape strategy. That's, you know. Who's next? Dizzy. Dizzy is the only one of this section before we get to Slayer Pot. Axel Abba? Yeah. Dizzy! Is this the junk color? Yeah, I mean, it does chip, but the thing is, if you're a human, you can just not get hit by any of them. If she can't keep changing which one it is. But yeah, like, that dash is very, very scary. So, I mean... let's put on switch again. I want switch. So as I said before, like, plus R Dizzy has this shit. So with that in mind, this is Dizzy's Ice Spike equivalent when she's EX Dizzy. And it's like, yeah, it knocks down, it's got a hit. It has this very cool hit flash. She also has an EX version, which has a ground splat, but the damage isn't very good. Her fish, you can only do one command, and they're some of the old movement patterns. S and H fish do S and H fish. But Dustfish shoots out bubbles. They're very cool. Now, as you can see there, and this will be the same with all her other bubbles, they are old bubbles. They do not detonate on their own volition, making them much less scary than modern Dizzy. Her only normal change is that Jump S is always the X sprite, which is her Jump to S in Accent Core, so it's not jump cancelable, but it is a very nice button still. We have... that's not what we want. We have this. So back DPS is the Lightning Spear. If you push P, that's what actually sets it off. So different approaches to zoning. We also have an H version, which is instant. And very, very, very easy FRC point that I then immediately drop every time I input it. Because I'm good at video games. So, Dizzy. And of course you can do this in the air. Likewise, you can do that one in the air, which gives you aerial momentum adjustments. Woohoo! Different approaches to zoning. Very cool. Any other moves that I need to mention before we get to the supers? No? Oh, yeah. Blah. Blah. They're the same. Sweep is her Accent Core specifically sweep. So it's jump cancelable, but not special cancelable. So you can do that stuff. But of course, you can still special cancel it if you do up then the special move. Like so. You know, the thing that everyone learned in Accent Core before they realized that Dizzy is a pain to learn. Imperial Ray does the X version of the animation, which is very cool looking. Whoa, look at that, it's a demon. Alright, no, her instant kill animation is still the gimmicky one. Is it written here? She might not actually have access to it. No, she does. See if I can actually do it. Alright, back to down. Whatever. That's not what's important. What's important is Gamma Ray is fucking garbage. Because it's double X. That doesn't work on Ky. For Force Breaks, it's just FB Bubble and FB Chainsaw. Which are whatever. We've got... Oh, that's right. That way. Alright, that'll work. So, we've got the original input for her grab super, and it does the counter animation from Guilty Gear X. That's what that is. So that is 3632146 646. And is there another? Oh yeah, double quarterback S. Dizzy install. Does EX Horse have Dragon install Sekai? Alright. Does it start with K on this version? Or with P? Oh, this is with that. Okay. I mean, the answer is yes. I'm just doing inputs bad. Oh, no! Oh, you're after Guilty Gear 1 instant kill. That's something I forgot to mention. The original startup animation? Yeah! Look at the fire! Yes, he is the Guilty Gear 1 instant kill. So, that's basically everything about Dizzy. There is some stuff there that seems neat, but also not the immediate obvious lol I win neutral that modern Dizzy has. But at the same time, she has ways to set off the neutral in her own thing. So, like, that's a character that's worth exploring. Judas Priest? Nah, you want that napalm death. We've done Chipp, we've done Zappa, we've done Jam. So really, I'd like your thoughts on what you think are problematic characters up to that point. Like, I really want to just let a tournament slide and see if it does just get dominated by certain EX characters, or if it's just going to be you all ran into my 5H and the Michael sword. Because we're all bad. Or if we will just lose to, like, Fairy hitting 6p with regular Slayer. Now, what have we got left? Potemkin, Eddie, Slayer, Aber, Axel. Right. Slayer. Slayer Dash is now this. He is a regular character. If you want to know where the weird dash momentum that he has in Exit comes from, it comes from this Slayer. But those aren't invincible, those are of course part of the Dandy Step animation. He's got Gatlings, baby! Regular Gatlings. Woohoo! But to compensate, 2H is double X 2H. So it launches really high, but it's shit. Range sucks. Launch height is too high to do anything. To answer... Whoops. Let's turn that HP regen back on. Yeah, see his big bang upper. 5H works like pre-accent core 5H. Slide is a slide. 6H is... Yeah, 6H is also the pre-accent core 6H. So you like 6H in a pile bunker? That exists still. Pile bunker does this. Here's the other thing, besides his buttons doing this thing. Something that is worth noting is... Oh man, I hate doing this on modern computers. There we are. You can do stuff like 2 reps of S, SSSS, and then KSSH into stuff. So, quarter forward P and quarter forward K, Mappa Hunch. Very surprising. What is actually surprising, though, is Wreckers. So, like, stuff, quarter forward S, quarter forward P is your letting it rip, kill them Wrecker. You also have quarter forward K as a follow-up, which is a standing low. That will work if you're up close as well as a combo, though you probably want to go for that most of the time anyway. You can also do quarter forward H, which does a teleport, so you can be a jerk. You can then do Blood-Sucking Universe, which is now Wild Throw. No flip on this Slayer, by the way. You can also do this. So if you do the first Wrecker into quarter forward H, then you'll do Dandy Step, which does, well, it does lots of things. For example, if you push P while you're doing it, you'll do another Wrecker. Oops. If you do S, you'll do cross up. If you do H, you'll do undertow. And if you do H, you'll do Blood-Sucking Universe, which is Wild Throw. That's all very cool. You can also do Pile Bunker. And I think, yeah, if you do it, if you're doing the S follow-up though, you'll get BBU. So this character is pretty goofy. Really, I think that, like, the close S frame trap continuing to exist is probably the most scary thing about this character, that you've actually got that level of control back. Like, that's like that Gordo 5B and Unio issue right there. However, I think it can't be stressed enough that, like, there is a lot more telegraphing going on into when he's gonna do stuff. It's not like, oh, you blocked a 5k, now I'm gonna cross through you, or now I'm gonna dash through you and throw you, I'm gonna do a cross-up pile bunker, I'm gonna do stuff. Also, quarterback K is crosswise heal, forgot to mention that. That's all very cool. H super is now that's essentially in Praxis it's the same as his accent core one. I mean his always double X up super. It's just you got this cool move instead. And it can whiff at point blank range, which is a significant difference. Dive super is the same, except it launches, which is also cool. I think that's about it. So like, this is one of those really real, I suspect that he's far more of a scrub killing character rather than a real game breaker, but you know, he's not the Slayer you're used to, and that's uncomfortable. Next problematic character. The boy. Let's change that music while we're here. Let's just put Pride and Glory on. Alright, EX Potemkin. First thing to note. Besides SS, the only Gatlings that he has are button into sweep. Or like mashing his punches into each other. P into sweep. P into sweep. K into sweep. 2K into sweep. 2S into sweep. 5H into sweep. 2H into sweep? Yes. That's change number 1. Why would they do that to him? Because he's got more versatility. 2S staggers. This combines with, obviously, single hit confirms into Popbuster, which is Accent Core Popbuster. So Mike's favorite follow-up. Old Mega Fist as well. Hi there, welcome to the Itchy's bad at Popbuster FRC night. Alright, this isn't productive. No FRC point on normal throw, so you get the air tech out. However, Popbuster input with K does this, which is a chain throw. You get Heat Extend after. Also, Hammerfall is the old FRC point, the better FRC point. There's no beat extend follow-up to Heat Knuckle because it's a part of the chain throw. But you can FRC this in order to guarantee the knockdown. So, you know, that's all weaker. But we can also follow this up if we're not bad. Double half forward H, I think is the input. Oh no, it's S. It's S for some reason. I guess, of course, because Heavenly is tied to S normally. And we get Heavenly. Which also has an FRC point for combo extensions, which is neat. That's all pretty cool. But why does he not have the Gatlings that he normally does? Reason number 1. 6H wall splats. What I should be trying to do here and failing horribly should be obvious. You have exert loops with this Potemkin. You hit a 6H, you get to do like 6 6Hs into Hammer Break in a row if your hands are good. Also, Reversal Super now does this. Also, he has a DP. Sure, DP and S, here's a DP. It's good. Look at that, he gets multiple Heat Knuckles, just like the normal Potemkin. Haha. What's next on the scary things about Potemkin? Is that it? Does he have... Yes, he has Mirror. Why is Mirror something I'm mentioning here? This is why. Like, you might not have been... Basically, he's got Accent Core Slide Head. So we got this shit. However, I don't think it is quite as scary as Accent Core because his Gatlings are so limited. So you don't have that anywhere on the screen. 5K, 5S, 2S, Heat Knuckle. Into 50 meter gains, then you just do this again. At the right spacing. So you got to actually kind of make some choices around it. Actually, does 2H work? No, 2H does not launch. So yeah, it's more limited. In the corner though, like, it's bad times. But still less scary. So that's all still pretty scary though. Just like having a Potemkin who can unblockable you is not good on the mental state. Especially Potemkin, who anytime he reads with this in the corner, can punch out all your blood at a high level. Other thing is... Alright, so yeah, he's got this move, he can't cancel it like plus arc, which is whatever. But that's not what's fun. Let's put that record back on. Actually, no, I don't need to, because I got this, don't I? Yep. Okay, quarterback K. Is that halfback? Yeah, it's halfback. He does this. What? It's part of his instant kill animation. Look at him no-sell those moves. It's got startup, so it's not a reversal. But once it's going... Let's get a bit closer. If you push P while in that stance, you get Pot Buster. If you push S, you get Heat Knuckle, which is, from memory, the knockdown version. You push H, you get a punch. Is there a D follow-up? No. So, yeah. If you've ever heard me grumping about Raven's stance, particularly when he was first introduced, basically I was mad that it isn't this exactly. So yeah, that's where the Raven stance comes from. There are a couple of things in this that wind up either appearing in Guilty Gear or in other Arc System Works games. So I guess I should get into one of those now. Is that it for things worth mentioning? Yeah. Yes. So yeah, he's scary because unblocks. What is also scary thing? Alright. I think that really Millia, Abba, and Axel are the scariest ones, who I think have the greatest potential to really ruin everyone's day. So I should probably go through them before I get to Eddie, just because Eddie is the funniest EX character to me. Alright, Millia. 5k launches. She's got old age. So... you've got knockdowns. You can also hold it to manipulate your air momentum while you're doing Millia things. Quarter forward punch throws your hairpin. Hairpin has no cooldown time because it's old hairpin. You got your tandem tops. They are the flippy animations, which are a little bit slower, but we've got the old force break disc from memory. So yeah, like old force break disc is how you make Millia an S tier character in Accent Core. We have this animation when she's doing Secret Garden, which is a lot less risky. We have, what is the input for Secret Garden in this one? Oh yeah, Lust Shaker has follow-ups, I think, but I think that was already there. Hey there, Forte. Long time no see. Alright. We also have air discs, which can kind of be used for air reset traps. But the main thing is that this move has combo extending properties from memory. I used to know some goofy ass combo that I was like jumped into S or something that did this stuff, and it did cool things. I can't remember it now. Whatever. So it's mostly just... It's... I mean, it's really... She's got this. She's got... And she's got Jump K, but... Like, Jagi's being, oh, watch out for the fuzzies. It's like, yeah, but doesn't really always have that in XX. The main thing that is a concern, though, is counter hit. And check that command list. Where is it? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, like Javi's complaining about Winger stunning on counter hit, which I think was actually one of the changes that they did in +R. Oh, I know, yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm doing a lot of counter hits in order to get that stun. But yeah, like, the simple fact that she's got old disc is enough to be extremely scary. So, and, I mean, like, launching is scary because that means she's got a much more consistent button to be getting her launches with, without having to worry about strings and weird spacing things. Especially since you can't be Forte and do, like, Fire S 5H Roman cancel and have 5 million years to run up and do the Millia combo. Right, ABBA! Why is ABBA good? This should be obvious why ABBA in EX form is scary. If you don't understand, this should make it a bit more obvious. We have no Modaha gauge. Instead, her moveset is tweaked to do other things. Now, of course, these are not the accent core buttons, so they're good, but they're not like +6 multi-hit buttons that build up all your guard gauge. It's also slightly different. It's also, yeah, it's older animations for the Rekka. Why am I screwing up the Rekka? Yeah, it's back forward. Yeah, that's what the Rekka does now. No ground splat. We have Fireball. We have... She does not have a command grab. Instead, she has this. So, woo! We've got some sort of gimmicky move. Yeah, Forte, I'm not going to click vids. Can you just tell me what it is? Yeah, if this move hits, then you get a wall splat. And then you can do Dunzai stuff. Butt is here. 2H probably sets up butt loop. Unbanned ABBA. Yeah, Dunzai. Splat. 40k. Is that the unblockable? Yes! That is still the Guard Crush. So you can see why I'm concerned about this character. Ball is ball. FB Dunzai is here. FB Fireball is here. Though, like, it's gonna... It's a lot harder to get that shit going, at least. But you can do it. Yep. But of course, you don't have the ground splat wrecker in order to set up the unblockable off of, so that's harder. What's quarterback D? Yeah, Tomo, I think you can see why I want to actually test these out in some matches. Yeah, this force break on the other hand does give her back health, and that is also problematic. And then for supers, she's got a dumb air super that no one ever uses. What is the input for the other super? She has... oh yeah. She has that super. So if you're a KOF fan, you'll get what that is. It's Raging Storm. Yep. She's got Raging Storm. So that's her. Of course it was. Of course it was a Millia combo that he linked. It's probably the one that... yeah, it's the one that Javi was linking. I've seen that vid before. That's probably where I was bringing up, like, air disc extension from. It's probably in there. So yeah, it's like, you want to know what Nabba with Mara mode? That's her. And then we have EX Axel, which concerns me far more than Venom, because he has... where is it? There we are. Like, Chargeless Rasengan-Ki is an extremely scary thing to be giving someone. He doesn't have the down follow-up at least, so if he wants this to be a pressure tool, he actually has to learn the FRC point. That was way too early. There we are. (2H) is, like, all the buttons are his original versions of those buttons, so they're all single hit, not very many special cancelable ones as far as like 2H is concerned. There's no 2H 2D or anything. He does have fake Rashosen. He doesn't have a DP, but he does have... he's got the counters. He's got the silly thing. Complete with the dumb force break follow-up. He's got that stuff. So it's mostly just... he's got that. And having access to that anytime is very scary. Quarter forward S does that. Of course, if you know anything about Axel, you know that these aren't true DPs, these are only upper body invul, which makes them somewhat less scary. Forward S, quarterback S, DPK. Yeah, he's got air greed chain. He can do this, which is, I mean, this is an Akatsuki move right here. Aha. Aha, you thought I was in? No, now you DP whiffs and I go, woo! And you can cancel the landing recovery. So yeah, Meteor Smash is probably more useful. It's really just this move that I'm scared about with this guy. The other thing to note is Bomba. He has the old Bomber back. And by the old bomber, I mean he has instant overhead bomber back. Look at that. Old bomber is back. The other thing he has back is the actual old bomber. Which means, if I'm good, I will get I'm not good apparently. Man, I'm so out of practice at Guilty Gear. You get bomber loot. You can also then just do the EX version as well while you're there. He also has this move. I don't know what it does. Oh, I mean, obviously, let's... Yeah. Put forward back K. Oh yeah, he has a run boost super, which also ends with that. Oh, right. Yeah. He has a low profile EX dust. That's what it is. It's very cool. But yeah, this move is what I'm worried about. Just him having that is what I'm really worried about more than anything else in this game. Because that's very easy to learn. But on the other hand, you don't have the million years of hit stun that regular Axel has in order to actually hit confirm anything. Along with him having the option to choose whether he wants to pull in or drag out his opponent to get the right spacing. Because if you hold down the buttons in +R, then you get single hit or double hit. And last but definitely not least, the funniest character. EX Eddie. What is EX about EX Eddie? Welcome back, old friend. This was, of course, all more of a notable, whoa, why would he have that? If +R didn't go and actually give him back old Eddie as an optional summon. Did I put the guard on? Yes, yes it did. So, he's got the buzzsaw. It does all the old things. Whatever, big deal. Does he have FRC point on S-Drill? No. See, like, that's all old Eddie stuff. You want to see the cool stuff, though. For a start, Amorphous, like, that goes longer than you think it should. The gold version goes way longer. The main thing is that he has a super. He has a super which doesn't whiff at point blank range, unlike normal Eddie. So, what is the actual thing that makes people bitch about this character? He has air drills. However, these drills do not hit low. They hit mid. So they're a movement and space control tool rather than a lol unblocks for free tool. But, you know, still very annoying. Here's the other cool thing, though. I'll do that again for you. Ooh, how do I land? Oh, Gala has no neutral, you say? But Air Summon. For Force Breaks, though, from memory, his only one available is... yeah. So, Exhaustion is the Accent Core Exhaustion, which is shit. Refills your Eddy gauge, but does not overfill it the way that it does for actual Eddy. That was terrible. But anyway, plus R Eddy can just do block strings into Pinwheel, then do Exhaustion, and he's got an airtight way to overfill his Eddy gauge and then just keep you going for more mix-up times. Whereas this guy, you gotta actually just do Buzzsaw. Maybe if you're really feeling like it, try and do it during the Buzzsaw, but whatever. Oh yeah, here's this move. So that move is very cool. He also has, while it's out, yeah. If you're unfamiliar with this move, this is a super that Eddy had in all the versions before Accent Core, which is fucking terrible, so you never see it. But it's back. And it's cool. But the most important thing about this Eddy that is cool is the Megalith Head Super version. Let me do that again. You see what's happening there? We've got, this is where the Shadow Labra Super comes from. So you input a couple of commands, Eddy will execute those commands, and then once the time has run out, it will then do the big super. This is important because this means that you can do guard, on. Got that wrong. That's the wrong thing I'm doing. You can see what I'm going for. The Accent Core AI can actually perfect block unblockable setups, unlike the older versions. But yeah, you can make airtight block strings into unblocks, which end with the head, which launches, and then you can go. Then you can do Shadow Gallery, blah blah blah. So that's very cool. It's Titanomakia. Years before, and very obviously, I think, where actually the well they went to make Titanomakia went, hey, that's a gimmick we've had floating around, let's actually do it. So yeah, that's Eddy. I don't think he's as scary as he looks, especially when I confirm that that's not a low, because otherwise it would just be like that shit, like somewhere up here, like that shit would be the worst. But that doesn't exist, so it's okay. And it's the Accent Core version of 6K. So yeah, that's all the EX characters. I mean, like, Jump Nobiru is some bullshit right there. Man, Tomo, the first SXC that Exode came out, so that was 2014 or 2015. Jarvie was vehemently insisting that Accent Core Nobiru is nowhere near as scary as what was in his words, Great Wall of China Nobiru. I mean, they're different good, because this one's they're unblockable, but the Accent Core one wall bounces. and has more horizontal reach, whereas this one has better guaranteed vertical reach. I feel like he doesn't have Break the Law. Let me just check that. Oh yeah, that's that. Yeah, that's the last thing to mention. Oh yeah, we haven't done Testament. Okay, so the other thing going on here is I mentioned that there's the teleport, but there's also the fake teleport, which is very cool. So yeah, that is EX Eddie. I think he's cool. And then yeah, we actually forgot to do Testament. Okay, Testament. So you might remember that in Accent Core, Testament had this thing called Forward Exabeast that was this 3-frame fireball that had OTG relaunch and was the worst thing ever. Hey look! Look at that. It's Forward Exabeast. What sets this apart from Accent Core though, is that it's actually the Guilty Gear X version of Forward Exabeast. So, it just does that. Noriwall, there is always FRC points on Exabeast. These are where the points were before they reworked him in Plus R. That's how they were in all the versions of Double X. There we are. So 5H's is X5H, which became 3H in Plus R. It puts them in the air, which is all, oh no, now I'm in the air. What do? You can do stuff like that with him. He's got Gravedigger, so you, depending on how far away from the corner you are, you can do all the old Gravedigger shit, like that. 6K is old 6K. So yeah, you can do great stuff. Phantom Soul. Yep, Phantom Souls are the Phantom Souls, just like you know and love. Loft Warrant is Loft Warrant. I don't think he has the teleports. You know, let's check that. Alright, that's right. Yes, here they are. So forward DPS and back DPS. They got teleport forward and teleport back, but they're also hits that induce poison, unlike Accent Core. They are worse on whiff and block though, unlike the Plus R iterations that were actually used. We have Zynest, we have Gravedigger, we've covered Exabeast, so like, this is a fast disrespect tool, but it doesn't lead to 50% into knockdown the way that Accent Cores does. Oh yeah, and he has this. You like Faust? Woo! So yeah. It's essentially Reload Testament. However, if you really need to just have the large reach of Badlands, you can do it as an EX move. And there's my replay button. Yeah, so yeah, it's involved. Alright. Tree. You're asking about Tree Tomo. No Badlands loops. It's a reversal. It's a sensibly designed Badlands. You're after tree, Tomo. Well, I'm inputting tree, and he has no tree. He has no tree. So, if he's got no tree, what does he use dolls on? Because he can get dolls. But I'm putting out all these nets, and it's not using the dolls. So what on earth could they be used for? And why did I gain 4 dolls instead of the usual 3? You don't actually gain a doll from doing air throw either. So, what do the dolls get used for? I should probably stop pussyfooting around. You want loops, boy? Oh yeah, this is his old dust. Yeah, I'd made a combo video which involved a lot of those X and B spawns. And yeah, this dust is probably a bit faster, but it's like it doesn't have that visual ambiguity of him leaning back and it being an overhead. So that's whatever, it's different. These are just like for giving up EX tree and EX net, having just the screen is filled with his X Beast, I think is a pretty fair trade-off, honestly. So it's like, if you want reload Testament, but with a good fireball, then it's this Testament. I don't think he's as scary as +R Testament. You can't, I mean, he's got no tree, so he can't do the infinite for a start. Yeah, his 6p doesn't force crouch from memory. Yeah, Tomo, this is absolutely a lower skill floor, lower skill ceiling Testament, which is fine. He also has Nightmare Circular, of course, and this is where the delayed Nightmare Circular, which they gave him +R, comes from. There you are, and there's the crow. And 2H is still 2H. Is that it for Testament's moves? Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yep. Curse length, you gotta remember, Tomo, that curse usually gets interrupted by someone hitting a button. Like, no, it's just patterns. The patterns are the same. Because I don't believe they ever actually changed his patterns in any version, because the patterns were never the problem. In fact, you want as many patterns as you can get, which are as inconsistent as possible. So that way Testament doesn't very easily learn baby's first unblockables, which I'm sure Pachi would implement. So that's it. That is all the EX characters. I guess we should have a little moment to say, like, what do you think in actually seeing them? Do you think it's scary? I think it's well worth actually exploring. Here you go, making a budget joke. Well done. I appear to be getting a large pile of DMs here. Let me just check through these. Right, none of that is relevant here. So, yeah. See, I don't think, and just going through them again like this, like, Axel Beam scares me just because it's Axel Beam, but as far as really obvious stuff that's like people are gonna rock in and in 5 weeks of mucking around in training mode have something that's gonna dominate it, no. I frankly do not think that any of you are going to beat me when I do this. Unless we're playing on a PC version where there's frame drops, but we're not. Still on the Dark is garbage. Hot takes from Pitchy. My favorite song in XX, I mean, Meet Again is actually available now. And that makes me very happy. Look at that. Back hit. You don't like GG1 Meet Again? GG1's good. And it's basically the same sheet music, just with a worse sound font. Yeah, Michael Sword's a cool move. You know what's even cooler is if you go, oh, and then we put on counter hit. And we go, whoop. Whoa, look at that. Yeah, yeah, the Guilty Gear 1 pedals that Ishiwara is using really does have this oddly grunge feel to it in a game which is trying to be hair metal. Oh man, I'm so out of practice at this. Ooh. This range, do I just do grounded? No, no, I do not do grounded. There we are. So yeah, from about... Alright, the tourney. The tourney is all characters. My intent is to try having a 48 character roster in Guilty Gear. So all normal, all EX. Shadow banned, gold banned, alternate modes banned. These guys are banned. But... because the thing is, +R at its best, people only knew like 3 matchups anyway. So it's going to be a shit show, so we might as well actually try exploring. And if the tournament winds up being like top 8 is 4 EX Axles and 4 EX Potemkins, then I'll go, okay, maybe we should just play regular. But at this point, I really just want to see people muck around if they want to. Like, you don't have to play an EX character. I was just doing this so people know what they do and have some groundwork from which to start exploring. Otherwise, like, just pick Robo, pick Abba, pick Slayer. Probably pick Slayer. Yeah, Tomo, the sorts of people I think are going to enter +R are probably just gonna play whatever thing they remember from their youth. Javi is very concerned about there being like this huge number of people who are just gonna enter +R on a whim closer to the day. But I think at this point, people are more likely... the people who play Xrd, especially at the moment, like, the people not from Queensland who are playing Xrd and are entering the weeklies, enjoy playing Xrd, and are probably going to spend most of their time playing Xrd, which is good. Play the game that you want to play. I don't want to play Xrd, I want to play weird dumb games. Hugo, if you go through the VOD, then you can see where Robo-Ky is. The short of it is that he's Kai. Whoops. Mostly you need to know about this 2H. And this move. No. Oh, Tomo wasn't here for Robo-Ky. Yeah, Robo-Ky is just a regular character. He's just got regular tension. The heat gauge is with you vent with halfback S, though. And that's it. And yes, he still has lightning explosion. And he doesn't have his dash normal either. So I guess I will end the super with a reminder of something. So I have this old running gag that originates from Marvel 3. Just anytime we'd get an essay into a theory crafting discussion about what changes should be made to games, I would just pick the just a character and say that they need hidden missiles. Thanks for watching.